Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here, and today's video will be covering another huge Steam sale and 10 more great games worth buying, so let's get into it. The first game is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Now this game is a fast-paced third-person shooter similar to World War Z that's set in the Warhammer universe. And you'll play as Titus, a space marine, with his team as they take on alien threats across the universe. The gameplay is very combat focused, and it's really a mix of fast-paced hack and slash melee combat as well as ranged combat. And so you'll use a variety of weapon types like shotguns, machine guns, handguns, and more, and then also melee weapons like giant swords and even chainsaw blades. Now you're going to be facing off against hundreds of alien monsters and enemies, almost seeming like zombie hordes attacking you en masse, which is why it has that World War Z type feel to it. It has a really fun campaign mode, but there's also other side modes like PvP modes and even co-op modes as well, where you can play as different characters outside of the main hero Titus. I think if you like fast-paced action-adventure shooter games with a sci-fi theme, this one's a must-play. The next game is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Now this game is a retro-inspired action platformer set in the Bloodstained universe, which is more of a spiritual successor to the Castlevania series. And you'll play as Zangetsu, a swordsman on a quest of revenge as he tries to track down and take out evil demons that cursed him. Now eventually throughout the game in your quest, you'll team up with other heroes, and each one of these are playable characters throughout the game. And it has almost a Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse type feel to the game, where you'll be playing as basically all of these characters at the same time, and you can switch between them on the fly. And each one has their own unique play style and abilities, even their own unique health bars, that as you explore throughout the world, eventually you can uncover branching paths and hidden items that can boost your character's ability and enhance their life bars as well. It has fun and challenging action platforming as well as boss fights that are a lot of fun. And I think if you like retro action platformers or are a fan of the Castlevania series, this one's a must play as well. The next game is Gal Guardian's Demon Purge. And this game is a fast-paced action platformer with some light Metroidvania elements. And this game also has somewhat of a Castlevania-like feel to it, but this time around you'll be playing as two demon hunting sisters that go on a quest to restore their high school after it's been transformed into a demon castle. And so not only are these two sisters trapped in this demon castle, but many of their classmates are as well. And so you'll go throughout a quest to save these other classmates, defeat demon enemies, and hopefully reverse the curse that's transformed your high school. Now throughout the game you'll be playing as two playable characters, each sister, and each one of them really has a unique play style, where one of them is focused more on range attacks and has dual wielding machine guns, and the other one focuses more on melee attacks, and she'll use her magic origami powers to unleash melee attacks via swords and different blades and shurikens and much more. Now as you explore throughout the world, you'll also find a variety of sub-weapons for your characters. Again, these are similar to the sub-weapons from the Castlevania series, but these can not only be gathered by each character, but eventually even powered up. And this is where some of the Metroidvania elements come into play. And the game itself is more linear, but there are some different branching paths that you'll be able to explore where you can find different power-ups to these sub-weapons, but also enhancements to your characters, improving their life bars, and things like that. The game also has multiple different endings, and even has multiple modes, like a boss rush mode, and even the ability to play the game co-op with another player. I think if you like fun action platformers, this one's worth picking up as well. The next game is Evil Tonight. Now Evil Tonight is a retro-style survival horror game that kind of feels like you took a classic Resident Evil game and had it come out on the Game Boy Advance. And so in this game, you'll play as Sylvia, who's a medium that goes to solve a mystery of strange happenings at an abandoned performing arts school. And while she's there, she actually gets sucked into an alternate dimension, sort of a demon realm. And not only she has been sucked in, but other students in the area have been as well. And so you need to unravel this mystery of why this demon realm is appearing and how to escape and save the other students that have been captured. And so it's a cool story that really unravels as you progress through the game. But again, it does have that old school Resident Evil feel to it, where you have very limited resources, limited ammo, monsters are around every corner. You'll need to find different keys to unlock new areas throughout the school, and there's some different puzzle elements thrown in the mix as well. Now it does lack some key features such as a map feature to the game, which can make it a little bit more challenging, but I do feel like if you're playing through the game pretty regularly, you'll get a feel of the overall layout of the game, and it's not that big of an issue to do some backtracking and check the various doors that might now be unlocked after you found different keys or solved various puzzles. I think it's pretty challenging, but a whole lot of fun. And I think if you like survival horror games as a genre, this one's a definite must play. The next game is Blaster Master Zero. Now this is a remake of a classic action platformer from the NES. Now in this game you'll play as a young boy Jason who goes on a quest to save his lost frog, but stumbles upon a much greater adventure and bigger threat as he finds an underground cavern system and giant tank with futuristic weaponry, and ends up going on a mission to defeat mutants that are plaguing the Earth. Now the game is a pretty cool concept that combines action platforming with some light Metroidvania elements, but also some top-down dungeon crawling elements as well. And so you'll be traversing across the world, exploring different areas in your tank, and then also jumping out of your tank to explore different caverns and side dungeons. And in this more top-down shooter style, you'll face off against enemies, find power-ups for your guns, enhancements for your bombs, and take on intense bosses. And after you defeat them, you'll unlock new enhancements for your ship. And this is where the Metroidvania elements come in, because you'll be enhancing it with things like hover abilities, wall climbing, missiles, and much more, which can allow you to access new areas throughout the game. I think this remade version is a bit easier than the NES title, but it does add some more background and story elements to the game, some enhanced graphics, and even some additional areas after where the original game ended. I think if you like classic inspired action platformers, this one's a must play as well. The next game is Rayman Legends. Now this is a classic action platformer that feels very similar to the classic Super Mario Bros. Series, and you'll play as Rayman, who goes on a quest to save his magical world from evil forces. And some of the things that really stand out is its charming hand-drawn art style, mixed with 3D backdrops that really bring the world to life. I also think it has really cool world designs that each have their own unique theme and several levels to explore, as well as challenging bosses to take on throughout each level. There's also features like time trial challenges, multiple unlockable characters, in addition to the really fun gameplay. And so I think if you like classic action platforming games, this one's a must play as well. The next game is the Trine Enchanted Edition. And so this game is a unique concept that combines platforming with some physics-based puzzle elements and a fantasy theme. And so you'll play in a fantasy world as three heroes as they work together to save their kingdom from evil forces. And you can play the game solo or even in a co-op mode, and you'll be controlling three different heroes, a thief, a wizard, and a knight, as they try and overcome different obstacles, defeat enemies, and save the world. And so this opens up some really cool mechanics where you'll be able to control one hero type at a time, but then you can cycle between them to use their unique abilities to get past obstacles and different challenges. So for example, the knight has a shield where he can block incoming attacks and do up-close melee damage to enemies. The thief has more ranged attacks using a bow and arrow, even some grappling hook abilities to traverse the world and jump over gaps or pull things down. And then the mage has abilities to create blocks, which could be stepping stones or aid in other puzzle solving elements as well. The game also has some light RPG elements, so throughout the game you'll be powering up your characters and enhancing abilities, and I think if you like action platformers, puzzle elements, and a fantasy theme, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Bright Memory Infinite. And so this is a fast-paced first-person shooter slasher hybrid. Now the game has a minimalistic story, and I think it really chooses to focus more on the action and gameplay. But you'll play as a young special agent investigating strange black hole events occurring around the world. Now the game really focuses around combat, and so throughout the game you'll have multiple gun types you can utilize, cool sword wielding abilities, energy attacks, double jumps, dashing, dodging, and more. And there's also a variety of mission types thrown in the mix as well. So you'll have some stealth elements, more combat focused, action platforming, and more. And I think this variety of levels, in addition to the fast-paced action, really keeps you on your toes. Unfortunately, it's not a super long game, but it is a lot of fun, and I think for the discounted price, you definitely get your money's worth, and it's worth picking up. The next game is V Rising. Now, V Rising is a unique vampire RPG that combines action RPG elements with some survival game elements and adds in some real-time strategy and base building mechanics as well. And the story is pretty minimalistic, but you focus on playing as a new vampire that has risen after a many-year slumber, and you go on a quest to regain your power, to rebuild your castle, and to challenge and take on Dracula. And so throughout the game, you'll explore an open world where you'll need to gather resources to rebuild your castle, to build out new equipment, and to unleash your full power. And throughout this process, you're going to have to hunt down major enemies, drain them of their blood, and use that to enhance your vampire powers. And so that's really what the gameplay loop centers around, where you'll be continuing to build up your castle, build better equipment, unlock new abilities, giving you the power to take on more and more challenging bosses until eventually you can face off against Dracula. And so this gameplay loop is definitely a lot of fun and pretty addictive. And there's also even PvP modes, or even the option where you can play with others cooperatively online, creating kind of your own unique experience each time you play the game. I think if you like action RPGs, base building mechanics, and the vampire theme, this game is a must play as well. The final game on today's list is the Halo Master Chief Collection. Now this is a great collection of some of the best Halo games, which as a whole are fast-paced first-person shooters. And so this collection includes Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo Reach, and Halo 3 ODST. And so throughout these games, you'll be playing as Master Chief as he takes on enemy threats throughout the universe. These were some of my favorite first-person shooter games growing up and really revolutionized the genre. And this collection has been revamped and remastered to function exceptionally on PC. And I think at its current price, it's definitely a great deal whether you're returning to the series, playing it for the first time, or just want another option to play this on PC. I think this bundle is another great option to pick up in this sale. Well, again, that wraps up today's video of 10 more great games worth buying in this latest Steam sale. And let us know in the comments below, are there any games you'll be picking up now that you know that they're on sale? Have you played any of these games before? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. And another really cool way you can help support the channel is we actually partnered with a company, Geek Crate, that puts together various bundles. So whether you like things like Harry Potter, Pokemon, Naruto, Marvel, and more, they've got different bundles for everything. They have a subscription service you can take advantage of, or buy just one-time bundle packs of various items. And so if you did want to check that out and help support the channel, head to nerdproblemsgaming.com/geekcrate, and you'll actually get 15% off your order and help support our channel at the same time. So if you want to take advantage of that cool discount, be sure to head there as well. And if you like videos like this on video games, board games, and everything nerdy, check out one of our other videos here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out, and to make sure you don't miss out on any future sale videos, so you can take advantage of these great deals. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.